I sacrificed my rights. Excuse me. I sacrificed my rights as a woman to pick up my duties, my mantle as a wife. What we're talking about is balance in the home, in the marital home. Balance. Things are out of order, and this is why marriages are crumbling. They're falling apart because the house is out of order. The first thing we must understand is that this is a new thing that has erupted in the world with women working, career women working long hours, making money. This is a new thing. And the reason why I say it's a new thing, because it wasn't designed to be that way. And I'm talking from a biblical aspect. It was not designed for women to work. And definitely not work long hours. 14, 6 hours, 16 hours. That wasn't the setup. The setup, really, let me say this. It wasn't designed for man to work. God had made all the provisions and gave it to Adam. He gave it to him. That was his inheritance. He gave Adam everything. He said, everything you need is here, right here on this earth. Everything. We got cotton. We got linens. From cotton, you can make you some clothes. You got land to grow your food. You got animals for your meat. If you want some fish, you could go fishing and eat you some good old fish. If you are a vegetarian, you could just eat fruits and vegetables. But we was not designed to work. The working came in where Eve influenced her husband out of order, influenced her husband to bite that fruit. See, nothing happened when she bit the fruit. Wasn't no rules broken when Eve bit that fruit. God didn't come say, Eve, come here, where you at? What you doing? What you done did, girl? None of that took place. But when Adam put his mouth on that fruit and took a bite, here come God. It was on and popping then. Rules has been broken. Things is out of order. Things are out of order when Adam bit that fruit. Now, the punishment for Adam biting the fruit, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have my Bible in front of me and I'm not a scholar. The punishment for Adam biting the fruit was this. You're going to work. You're going to work from the sweat of your brow. That's hard labor. This is what God told Adam. You will work for everything you stick in your mouth and every piece of cloth you put on your back. You're going to work for it. From the sweat of your brow. From here on out. That was Adam's punishment. Eve didn't get the same punishment. Why he didn't tell Eve, and you going to work with him? You going to pour that hair up in a bun, and you going to get to working. He didn't tell Eve that. He said you going to be in pain through childbearing. He never said nothing to Eve about working. Never. Because women wasn't designed to work. We were designed to be a help to our husband, a help to his work. Adam worked, bring home the food and the meat, and Eve, you home, you cook it. Eve, her work was to keep and maintain the house and the children. Feed her husband. Her husband ain't gonna work and come home and gotta cook. No, God didn't set it up like that. He said you need a helpmate. Because he already know when you get in, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna need somebody to give you a bath, take care of your clothes, take care of your children, raise your children up. You can't do everything. So he created a help meet the need of the man. But now we done came in and changed and altered the blueprint. Now you got women working just as hard as men and running circles around them. And that's a problem for a lot of people within their marriages. The man starting to get jealous because the woman is in a better position than him. She making more money than him. She feel like she can make the rules now. I ain't got to submit, nigga. I'm making more money than you making. Y'all know y'all can talk like that. Don't get offended when I say the N-word. I'm just saying, this is where the cockiness come up, in the spirit of cockiness, haughtiness, rise up in the woman, because now you're in the wrong position. You have now put yourself on the head position, and your husband is the neck. When it's vice versa, your husband is the head, and you supposed to be the neck, and working together. Tell me this. Let me ask y'all this. Those of you who are career women, entrepreneurs, whatever the case, you working, you making good money, and you married, and your husband not making as much money as you, do you still submit to your husband? Put your answers in the comment section. I really want to know. Do you submit to your husband? If your husband asks you to do something, do you do it willingly and freely with a smile? Or do you give him a little clap back, a little feedback? I'll get to it when I can. I'm busy. I got something to do. I got these reports to do. I got to go to work. I don't have time. Or do you just do it? Be honest. Be honest. Because some people will say, well, no, I work and my husband work and we don't have no issues. I make good money. He make good money. I still submit to him if he asks me to do something. Well, then let me ask you this. Those of you who saying that. If your husband coming in and asks you to quit your job, would you quit it? Would you quit your job if he asked you to? You wouldn't. That would be a whole fight. Why? Why I gotta quit my job? His reasons would be because you going too much. When I come home, I'm hungry. You gone. House ain't clean. Clothes ain't washed. Food ain't made. And my wife is gone. And I can't have sex because you're gone. That's 5 things I just ran down. The wife is out of the house. Out of order. So I want you to quit your job. Would you do it? Don't answer quickly. Just think. Just ponder. Ponder. I'm not trying to start a fight. I just want to raise awareness as to why marriages are falling apart. Is because they're out of order. They're out of order. Now, I'm not married. I'm engaged. And the funny thing is, God is preparing me before I even get married, because I was one of them ones. Submit. See, that was a foreign language. Was it submit? You better not talk to me about no submit. So God is molding me and preparing me for my husband. I feel like I'm going through the Esther process, where Esther had to go through this whole process before she met the king. If anybody saw the story of Esther, I love it. But I ain't going through the whole beautification process. I'm going through a get Tamika together before I allow her to marry my man of God. I need her to be a woman of God, a true woman of God, and a wife. A true wife. And that's where a lot of us are missing it. We have not picked up our wife mantles. We got married. On paper, it says that you're somebody's wife. But if you can ask yourself, if you can really get real with you, it doesn't matter what you tell me. You can tell me anything. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help somebody. If you can get real and go down the list of what a wife is, where do you fall in? How many of those things on that list do you really do? Have you mastered? My husband told me that he wanted me to work with him. He's a master mechanic in diesel. He's a master auto mechanic in diesel. And he told me that he wants me to work with him as his receptionist. He's going to buy his own auto repair shop. And he wants me to work in the shop as a receptionist. And immediately I said, I'm not doing that. I don't want to work in no auto mechanic shop. What? I got my own thing that I want to do. This is exactly what I told him. Child, I'm not working in no auto mechanic shop. I'm opening up a restaurant. I'm doing this. I'm running down all the stuff that somebody's going to be somebody's wife. I'm telling him everything that I want to do and what I'm not going to do. Out of order. He never said nothing. He ain't say nothing. He just listened to me. Months down the line, I must have shared with him the fact that I wanted to get my CDL so I could drive 18-wheelers. I've always wanted to drive 18-wheelers. So now I'm at the point my kids are grown. I don't have anybody here with me to tend to, so I can go ahead and go on the road. So I forgot that I told him that, but he didn't forget. So one day he calls me and say, babe, they sent me something in the email. I sent it to you. Go look at it. So I go and look at it, and it's a pre-application for some kind of transportation school or something. I'm like, well, what is this? He said, you told me that you wanted to get your CDL, so I took the liberty of filling out the application for you. So I got a little bit upset by that. I was like, I didn't ask you to do that. I said, I didn't need you to do that. I know how to apply for whatever I want to. I got offended. So he was like, well, I apologize. I just remember you saying it, so I just took the liberty to do it. But no problem. I won't do it again or whatever. So the next day, I slept on it. The next day, I'm going through Google, applying for all kinds of CDL training to go to school. He didn't plan it I planted the seed when I told him about it. But he came back and told me about it, which I guess, which sparked up the fire, so to speak, for me to just go ahead and stop procrastinating and go to school. So I ended up calling the schools and yada, yada, yada. So now we're talking, and I done got gung-ho on this CDL kick, and I'm like, well, hell, we ain't going to stop there. Let's not stop at me getting my CDL. I'm going to go ahead and drive on a truck, stack my paper, buy a couple of trucks, and we going to start a fleet. And we can do your auto shop. That way you can work on cars and trucks. And I can work on, I'll be driving. So this is how he flips it to get me back to where he started from when he said, I want you to work in my auto mechanic shop as a receptionist. So he says, oh, that sounds good, babe. Yeah, we could do that. Yada, yada, yada. A couple weeks later, he said, babe, I want you to understand this. Now, y'all got to understand something. My fiance is full-blooded African. He's Nigerian. He's from Lagos, Nigeria. He's a Yoruba man. They do things a lot differently than we do. And they stick to the ramifications of scripture, most of them. So the way things is set up in the Bible, that's pretty much the way they tradition plays it out. Okay? So he says, I will not allow my wife to work all day, long hours. Now, normally, had somebody said that to me, I would not allow that. That allow would have been an issue right there. I'd have been getting flipped right from allow. Like, you're not going to allow me. Oh, what you mean you're not going to allow me? I don't need your permission. It would have been a whole bunch of not ready to get married statements coming out my mouth. But God is working on me. So when he said I would not allow, he already prepared me. He's already letting me know what's going to take place within this marriage. He said, I will not allow my wife to work long hours. He said, now, if you want to work, if you just want to be out the house working, he said, I will compromise. I will allow you to work 4 hours, 4 hours a day. He was like, but that would be it. I will never allow my wife to work longer than that. That's my job to work. That's not your job. So I thought about what he said. Now I said this could either go one or two ways. I can buck up against the prick. Or I can come under and just say to myself, okay, well, you're going to be working some good hours because I have expensive taste. And if I can't contribute, it's all on you. I got expensive taste and I like going to nice places and eating at nice restaurants and doing some wonderful things that cost a lot of money. So if you want to take on that job, have at it. Have at it. I'm already training myself to submit. He's willing to let me work 4 hours. The business is our business. So I'm winning anyway. But my point is, I want us to ask ourselves if we can do something different. If it's a way that we can come together and compromise within the household. First of all, if you're a woman and you're making more money than your husband, and that's an issue, this is going to be a hard one. This is going to be hard. You might want to, if you care about your marriage, I don't know what kind of marriage, or I'm marrying my soulmate. Everybody has not found their soulmate, and everybody that's married is not married to their soulmate. But if you care about your marriage and your finances is causing an issue, you might want to consider dying to yourself. I'm talking to women. Meaning, when I say die to yourself, letting the financial part go. Especially if your husband is in a position to care for you on his own. Or maybe work out something where you're not working as long. Take a demote yourself. We got to be willing to, and the reason why we want all of these high paying jobs, because we got all of these liberties. We got all of these extravagant things that we want to do. My hand is up. I got my hand in the air. I'm one of them. I got all these things that I like. All these trinkets, cars, houses, shoes, bags, just stuff that's tearing our daggone marriages apart. Stuff that's not even important. Christian Lou don't care nothing about your marriage. And he not going to miss your money if you don't buy a pair of shoes. We got to do better. We got to do better with our position as wives. Now, I've already embraced the whole thing with my husband because he done already said it before he married me. He already done said, never will you work long hours. So he's saying, in essence, don't come in this and then try to change the script. I'm already putting it out there. If you driving that truck, by the time I come home, you just might as well know you coming off that truck. So don't get attached. He don't want his wife on the road driving from state to state. And I don't want to be on the road driving from state to state. He want his wife home. He want his wife home. And I don't know, ladies, what man don't. Just do a self-check and analyze why your marriage is on the rocks. And then do a fact check and find out, when did it begin? Like, what transpired when you recognize the problem? What is he doing? Is he going out more? When you come home, is he home? If the answer is no, why would he be? You ain't there. Ain't no food there. The house is dead. Lifeless. Nobody's there. So he's going out, hanging with his buddies, going to the bar, having a cocktail or two, sitting in some girl face, sizing her up, seeing if she could be a wife number 2 or 3, just depending. Check and see if we value our marriages. If you don't place no value in your marriage, then hell, do you. But if you place value in your marriage, then you'll do anything. You'll sacrifice anything to keep it and maintain it. The order is you help him. If he's struggling in his business or career, and all you doing is complaining, talking about, well, you might need to change careers, or now I got to do extra work because this ain't working, what you doing. Really? Why don't you invest in his business? Invest in his brand. His brand is your brand. You represent him. He represents you. Y'all represent each other. We got 2 whole careers going, which means we're going in 2 different directions, and we're one body. You tell me what body, if the left side of me want to go right and the right side trying to go left, where the hell is we going? How can one body go 2 different ways? 2 different ways. And you convince yourself that, no, we all right, we happy. I'm telling you, honey, no, y'all just tolerating each other. The cheaper the keeper mentality is, no, I ain't going to leave him because It cost me too much. I ain't gonna leave her because it'll cost me too much. But y'all not happy. And who wants that? Who wants to be in a marriage? Oh, who wants to be in a marriage and it's dull, lifeless? You ain't happy. You creeping on each other. Dipping and dabbing in other pools. Just, We got to get our house. We got to get our house in order. Women, we the ones that build the house. A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one will pluck it down with her hands. I love that scripture. That's heavy. And there's so many ways to pluck your house down. A job, a career can pluck your house down. If that job or that career is causing disruption in my marriage with my man, and I got a good man, listen, that job is out of there. I'm sorry. That job got to go. That job got to go. You build your man up. You build up his purse. His purse is your purse. Every credit card my husband got, I got a match. We ain't got no secret passwords and secret accounts and everything he got access to, I got access to. Everything. We're building a legacy, something to leave our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. This is ours. If we would come together really and get in our positions as wives, okay? As wives, if we would get in our position, I'm going to say it again, as wives, not a career woman, that's not your position. That's a liberty. That's not a necessity, women, that you have no career. That's a liberty when you're married. Your husband and you have agreed that you can work or whatever. And when you got a situation like that and it ain't causing no issues and y'all are still being able to spend quality time with each other, and like I said, it's not causing no kind of disruption in your household, then your ship is sailing. Your ship is sailing. You ain't got no problems on deck. But if you're in a marriage and you got some issues behind finances, whatever it may be, I don't know. I'm just talking about this particular topic with women making more money than men. And ain't never home working long hours and leaving your man to fend for himself. That's a no-no, honey. Men gets in trouble. Y'all remember David? Men get in trouble. He up there on the roof and then seen Bathsheba. You don't want to leave your man to fend for himself. To do for himself. To have to cook, and honey, I'm with an African. They don't cook. They wife, I got to be home to cook. He won't eat from another woman. He only want to eat from either me or his mother. So I got to make sure this man get fed every day. That's the man I chose. That's the man I fell in love with. That's my soulmate. And I'm gonna do it with a smile. That's my wifely, that's my duty. That's my job. If you want to talk about what your job is, that's your job. Anything outside of how God designed it, all of us who saints, are part of the kingdom, Christendom, Get in your word and find out what your instructions is on how to be a wife. It is not working at the CEO of somebody else's company. No, ma'am. That's a liberty. It was not designed that way. So don't take it for granted if you got that kind of situation and it's cushy and it's working. Thank God. Thank God, because it ain't like that everywhere. It's not like that everywhere. Marriages is falling apart on a regular because of money. Because of money. So, I got a toothache. I'm here rubbing this stuff on my mouth. That's really all I wanted to say. That was just on my heart. I'm like thinking about different ways that marriages fall apart. And especially today, marriages just don't last no time. They just don't last no time. People just get married, I think, because they just like the idea of marriage, the ceremony part. But nobody really wants to take the mantle, the duty, the responsibility of the marriage itself as far as being a wife and being a husband. Nobody wants to do that part. Let's just have the ceremony, blow a bunch of money, and now what? What do we do now? The work. Now it's time to do the work. You can't go back to the way you used to do things before you got married. You can't go back to that. You can't go back to, you might was working 16, 18 hours, making 6, 7 figures. You might was. But once you get married, you got to scale back. Wasn't nobody at home when you was working all those hours. So when you came home, all you had to do was jump in the shower, eat you something, and get in the bed. But now you got a husband who, when he come home, he want to see this woman, this beautiful woman that he chose and married. He come home, he calling you on the phone. I'll be there. I'm coming home late. Go ahead and eat without me, huh? He's sitting at the dinner table by himself with a TV dinner, some oodles and noodles, because his wife is doing what now? You at work. I just came in from a 12-hour shift and you still working from the time you left me this morning? You still at it? That's too much. That's too much. Y'all ain't got to like it. A whole lot of people ain't going to like it. But if you get real with yourself, you know I'm right. Money is not everything. Scale back on some of the luxuries that you want. Scale back on some of this foolishness that don't matter. That does not matter. If you can put that Bentley in the car with you and cuddle up to that Bentley, then I'd say go for it. But if that Bentley can't wrap them biceps and them triceps around me, I ain't studying that Bentley. I ain't studying that Merc. I ain't studying that Louis bag. If that Louis bag can't give me something I can feel and make me feel like I'm the best thing since the bread of life, baby, listen. Listen. I'm serious about my man. I'm not letting nothing take precedent over my marriage, over my man. Nothing. Nothing. And when you do this, let me tell you how you win. When you do it this way, that I'm saying, when you scale back, your man see that you sacrificed. That'll blow his mind right there. He gonna work even harder to get you the things that you're used to keep you accustomed to the lifestyle that you're in. He see that you done scale back, he gonna go harder. He gonna go harder. Cause he honored your sacrifice. He's gonna honor your sacrifice. God gonna honor it. God gonna honor your sacrifice. Everything, when you do things and you do it unto God, God see it. You think God will honor your sacrifice that you made for your husband. He'll honor that. You won't want for nothing. You will have no lack. And you ain't got to kill yourself to get it. I said what he said, 4 hours, 3-4 hours, that's all you get. I started to get mad with the allow, and then 3-4 hours, I said, oh, Lord, what am I doing? But then I'm thinking, this man gonna treat me like a goddamn queen. He don't want me to work because he already agreeing I'ma do it. Whatever you want, I'll see to it that you have it. There's nothing that I will withhold from you that's good for you. Nothing. And that's what God tells me. He tells me the same thing. It's not nothing that you can ask me for that I will not do for you, my wife. I'm winning. Why the hell would I buck up against that so I could go work 8 hours with people getting on my daggone nerves and that? What? No. All right. I take door number 1. I'm going to do it your way, Daddy. It's Burger King. Have it your way, boo. I would be a fool. And I want my marriage. And I love to take care of my man. I love to feed him and run his bath water and wash his back. I love that. Women, we need to get back to that. Love serving your man. When you do that, I'm telling you, his chest just sticks out. He feel like he is King freaking Kong. He just walk with it like he a daggone, what you call that bird, that real pretty bird? What you call that bird? A peacock. You know the male peacocks is prettier than the female peacocks. The male peacocks is some beautiful birds. That man will walk around that house with his chest stuck out so bad, look like he got breasts. And you start treating him right, doing him right, it's not nothing he won't do for you. Unless he just a fool, then you just done married a retarded person. But if you got a decent man, change the game. Change the game and start serving that man and watch how things change. And you ain't gonna have to hardly do no work. Just serve him. Serve him and love him, honey. When I say love, I'm talking about in the bedroom. Cook his food, run his bath. Just blow his mind with stuff that you don't normally do. You know what it is that you do and don't do. And the stuff that you don't do, start doing it. Start doing it. It is not no shame in ironing your man's clothes. It's no shame in picking his clothes. I prefer to pick my man clothes because I like you to dress a certain kind of way. I'm from Philly. We fly. So I like for him to dress a certain kind of way. So I pick most of his stuff. But yeah, I'm walking around in my house. Y'all hear my slippers? Yeah, come on, girls. We get these men. We don't know how to keep them, y'all. I ain't getting a man to lose them. Come on. We got to learn what a wife is. And I'm going to do a series on this wife thing because I think it's needed. I think it's needed and I think it's necessary. We got to learn how to be a wife. And it's different from just being married. You can be married and be an adulterer. You can be married and be an adulteress. You need to learn how to be a wife. Just because you married don't make you a wife. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you as God helped me. Because guess what? I sure didn't know how to be a wife. I was married. I had one marriage, failed marriage. Miserably failed. Miserably. I got married at 19. And I'm not going to tell y'all how old I am. I'm in my late 40s. And I'm just now getting divorced. And that whole marriage was a mess. I'm going to just say that. I don't want to get into it. This audio is already long. But I learned from it. I let that mess be a message. And I took a lot from my first marriage and analyzed it and learned what to do and what not to do. Because I want this marriage to be a success. And I'm going to have to do my due diligence to make it happen. You got to do your part. You got to, first of all, recognize your part. Acknowledge that you have a part. Then play your part. Play your part. Your part is not the head of that house. I don't care how much money you make. You're not the head of that house. If you have a husband, if you make 100% more than him, you are still on his, he is still the head of you. But we want to let the devil in and let him convince us that, shoot, you making all this money. He can't tell you what to do. He ain't making no money. You the head. You making the money. You might as well make the decisions too. That's out of order. Marriage is doomed. I'm telling you. Once you start playing the role of your husband, you're in trouble. Your marriage is in trouble. You're going to start treating your husband like he a female. The marriage is in trouble. Get in your position. Your position is under him. The neck. Now think about it this way. This might help some of y'all. It helped me. It surely helped me. The head can't move without the neck. Have you ever just seen head and shoulders? Can you imagine? Just use your imagination. Close your eyes and imagine a head without a neck. What kind of movement is that going to be like? It's not even connected to the spine. That head cannot move. No kind of way. So he needs you. He needs you to help guide him. That's what the neck do. The neck turn. It's a turning mechanism. So he needs you. But you don't talk. You don't tell him. Ain't no brain in your neck. You don't tell him what you will and will not do and what you're not. You don't do that. Necks don't do that. Necks got to learn how to. It's a way to get what you want. And I'm going to tell you, it's the way to not get what you want. Our mouth is a killer. We'll blow it every time with our mouth. We got to learn how to use our skills to get what we want. And most of the time, it is not our mouths. Or maybe sometimes, depending on what you're using your mouth for. And I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying, you got to be sweet with your mouth. Let your mouth be laced with honey. Let your words be succulent to his ears. Not no, 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 and you ain't do this, and no, 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 and oh my God. Oh my God. Well, who the hell wants to sit around you? Who wants to hear? Oh, God, help us with nagging. Help us with nagging. It's even in the Bible. They can't. He said, I'd rather sit on a roof. I'd rather sit on a roof than to be in the house with a nagging woman. Ain't that something? That's in the Word. That Bible is something else. Crack it open and read it. He said, I'd rather be on a rooftop than to go in that house with that woman. That's where David found Bathsheba, up there on the roof. Don't send y'all men on no roof, ladies. Shut your mouth. Let your words be seasoned. Let your speech be seasoned. Lace it with honey. Let it be succulent to his ears. Stop biting him every 5 minutes. Go home at a decent hour. Tell the girls, girl, I got to go home. I got to cook. I'll get up with y'all another day. They looking for a husband. You got one. Go home. Take care of your family. Build your house. Wise women, we build our homes, but a foolish one will pluck hers down with her hands. Don't be the fool. Don't be the fool. I can't stress it enough. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go. That's all I wanted to say. I'm going to go ahead and go and watch me a Nollywood movie. Do y'all watch Nollywood movies? Those are African movies, child. I love them. I'm hooked on them now. So I'm going to go ahead and watch me a Nollywood movie and probably work on some thumbnails for this YouTube channel. And I will be back. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I might do a video or audio tomorrow. But thanks for coming in, guys, and listening to me rant about wives and money and getting in our place and order. And I just had to get that off my chest because it's needed. It's needed. Somebody need to hear it. Everybody might not listen to it, but somebody is going to penetrate and somebody's going to reap a reward for listening and gain from doing what I said. Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. We got to get in a better position with our house, y'all. We trying to build legacies. We trying to build legacies. I think we got it twisted when we go to building careers. You need to build a legacy. You need to build a legacy. Can you leave that career to your grandchildren and your children? Can you leave that? Can you leave somebody else's company to your family? We building legacies. We not really building careers. Let's build legacies. So with that being said, I will get with you guys another time. I don't know when, so don't hold me for no certain time. But do me a favor. Click the subscribe button, and it'll let you know when I upload my next video or audio. Like if you like, dislike if you disliked it. Leave a comment below. I will reply and respond. And if you want to hit me up, you can. I have a link down below with my email. You can hit me up and we can talk, chat, get to know one another. I'm that type of chick. All right. Be blessed. Until next time, stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, and use wisdom in all that you do. Bye.